it's very upsetting to them.
An Eastern Kentucky family says someone they didn't know set up a GoFundMe page to take advantage of their tragic loss.
A disturbing discovery outside a Central Kentucky home leads to police arresting a Central Kentucky couple.
Some new technology allowed an Eastern Kentucky man to see for the first time how his family is trying to make sure it can help him for years to come.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for being here with us tonight. More strong storms have popped up across the bluegrass tonight.
And the heavy rain and flash flood threat will increase the next few days. Let's check in now with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey, showing us what he's tracking right now.
Yeah, a lot of heavy rain out there in pockets where we're getting tremendous amount of lightning, tremendous amount of rain on a local scale. What I'm expecting over the next 24 to 36 hours is something much more widespread. For that reason, most of the bluegrass state is under a flash flood watch through Thursday night and into Friday morning. Here's what your Defender Radar Network is currently seeing. And these pockets of thunderstorms that have a tremendous amount of lightning and very heavy rains. Watching Knox County and I'm watching Whitley County. Flash flood warning 8:45 for those two counties. And these storms really are not budging very much at all. So if you are watching us southeast of Williamsburg, near Saxton off Interstate 75, over across 904 towards Siler and across the 92 area, and northward into sections of Barberville, just to the north of Trosper, near the Girdler area, and especially right on top of Highway 11 here, watch the creeks and the streams. That storm that kind of breaks off on the Clay and Knox County line near Asher's Fork, some heavy downpours. Let's quickly zip to some other storms that are out there. Lebanon, Marion County, look at all that green into Danville. You know what that is? That's the top of that thunderstorm kind of blowing off. I can actually see that on our Skycam in Lexington. Additional thunderstorms now west of Shelbyville toward Newcastle, northern parts of Harrison County, Mount Olivet over toward Maysville, and to the north of Moorhead. That's a boomer. That is putting down a ton of rain. Showers and thunderstorms kind of coming together across most of Morgan County into parts of Wolf and Magoffin counties. Flash flood threat here into Floyd and Pike. It's a warning out until 7:45. These thunderstorms continue to pack a punch with a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rain. Look what's going on from Bowling Green down toward northern Tennessee. Additional thunderstorms are developing there. A quick look at that future radar that'll carry us through the evening, and it is trying to increase the showers and thunderstorms. That's a little different from what it was showing us an hour ago. Then as we go into tomorrow, we'll show you how that thunderstorm threat may become much more widespread. Guys, the flash flood threat taking center stage when I come back in a few.
Chris, thank you. We are tracking a breaking news alert in Lexington. A man wanted in a recent crime spree is now in jail. Lexington police arrested 35-year-old Kelly Cox at a home this afternoon. Police say that he held up a gas station and 2 banks last week. He's charged with 3 counts of robbery. We'll have more on that arrest and another one coming up at 11 tonight. An Eastern Kentucky couple says it made a heartbreaking loss even worse. They say the days after their young son died, someone set up a GoFundMe page claiming to be raising money for them.
But they say they don't know the person and they fear this fundraiser is only scamming people. Caitlin Sentner has our top story at 6.
I've known the Brown and Tackett family, Ballard family, my whole life. I've lived here.
Rick Stiltner is the judge executive in Menifee County, but he doesn't just work with Josh Brown. He's a good friend of Josh and his wife Alicia. Their 4-year-old son, Jackson, he says lived a lot.
Jackson was an outgoing young man. He never met a stranger, and he's a pretty smart little young man.
Jackson, I'm told, was perfectly healthy, but not long ago things took a turn.
They took him to the doctor, and then from the doctor's office, then they took him by ambulance to the Kentucky Children's Hospital, and then a few days later he passed away.
As family dealt with funeral arrangements for their young son, they were told about a fundraising page in Jackson's name. It's since been taken down. We were able to view an earlier version of the page, but the reason for wanting money is vague.
I can't even imagine that you would do that. It's bad enough to do it in other ways, but for a 4-year-old child to lose their life from such a serious health issue, and for someone to obtain personal gain from that, I'm pretty disappointed.
State police confirmed they're investigating and have attempted to talk with a woman from Moorhead who is believed to have started the page. Investigators say charges can only be filed if the woman doesn't give money raised to the family. In Menifee County, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Well, the family did create a fund in Jackson's name at Traditional Bank. Those donations will go directly to Kentucky Children's Hospital.
Investigators say it was no place for anyone to be living, but tonight they say they found a couple and 3 children inside a shed without running water or electricity. The Boyle County Sheriff's Office arrested the couple, 44-year-old Gregory Wilkerson and 25-year-old Brandy Harmon. And investigators say the children had to be taken to the hospital. Hillary Thornton has our story.
The investigation centering around this shed along Lebanon Road after a report of neglected children.
I mean, they were trying to get in a regular house to live in. I mean, it might take some time, but they were working on it.
Mary Cox's sister, Brandy Harmon, and her boyfriend, Gregory Wilkerson, found living there. Cox says they had recently moved out of her home just down the road.
My sister was living here, but they decided to move to the shack till they get a house because this house ain't big enough for all of us. Inside
the shed that sits behind Wilkerson's sister's home, deputies finding no running water or electricity, as well as a bucket containing human feces. Harmon and Wilkerson now charged with 3 counts of criminal abuse of a child 12 years or younger. Their 3 children taken into protective custody.
They said they would live, all 3 would live down there, but I know the other 2 was living with me.
Investigators say all the children, including the 2 Cox says she was caring for in her home, were treated at a local hospital for extreme rashes and bed bug bites. Family members say they feel that this all is just a misunderstanding and that the couple was doing their best to get by.
Didn't have no water, but they get water from our sister-in-laws, and they use the bathroom during the day now. They use the bucket during nights because my sister-in-law locked her door.
As the couple sits in jail, family members defending them as loving parents. In addition to the criminal abuse charges from what went on here, Wilkerson charged with possession of marijuana, and deputies say he also had a child support warrant out of Lincoln County. In Boyle County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Wilkerson and Harmon declined our request for an interview from jail. New tonight, a Central Kentucky man ended up in jail after a flight from Lexington to Charlotte. 25-year-old Michael Kerr has been charged with interference with the duties of a flight crew member or flight attendant, along with assault and communicating threats. Investigators say Kerr caused a disturbance on an American Airlines flight last week. A passenger on the plane took this eyewitness video. Police say that Kerr got out of his seat and threatened to break a flight attendant's jaw when asked to return to his seat. Police say he also kicked and shoved the flight crew and had to be physically restrained. They say that Kerr was intoxicated. A Central Kentucky woman badly injured in a cycling accident in France has returned here to the United States in her home in Kentucky. In a Facebook post, former state auditor Bob Babbage says his wife Laura is now back in Lexington. She's now in the neurosurgery trauma unit at UK Hospital. But she's still in critical condition, so only immediate family and clergy are being allowed to see her.
Nearly 300 million people worldwide suffer from vision loss and impairment. What if we told you there is a new one-of-a-kind technology offering hope to those who can't see? Tonight, seeing for the first time the impact this new technology has had on one young man in eastern Kentucky and why he's now on a mission to make the hope of seeing a reality.
Good morning, folks.
3 days a week, Blake Fannin mans his post inside the doors of the Prestonsburg Walmart. You can always count on a smile and kind word.
Thank you all for shopping at Walmart. Have a wonderful day.
Being the greeter here is pretty special to this 20-year-old.
Have a wonderful day, folks.
It's his first real job. He's already considered a model employee.
He is absolutely one of the greatest associates. Coming into the store, he's just he's got so much energy, and so many people know him.
For Blake, he sees the good in every person, and everyone seems to love him.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very proud of you.
The job is an outlet. With every opening and closing of the door,
have a wonderful day, folks.
It's his mission to try and make someone else's day better.
What I like most about it is that definitely meeting and seeing all kinds of various people, including some that I already know.
Only Blake doesn't see. Doctors never expected him to thrive, having been born with fluid on the brain and a condition where his optic nerves were underdeveloped. He's had 2 brain surgeries, but has never let any of it stop him.
He's just a person that you're not going to forget. He impacts you
tremendously with his positive outlook. He just glows from the inside out.
Blake has no vision in his left eye and very little, if any, in his right. Everyday tasks are challenging.
It's dropping the remote, not being able to find that remote, asking for help because he can't find his phone.
Along the way, Blake has relied on his faith and others for help.
Everybody who's helped me read, everybody who's done everything for me in school, out of school, at home, at work, everywhere. If you've helped me, I want to say right now, thanks for all your help.
Blake is very spiritual. He tells me that he and his family have prayed daily for years that his eyesight might be healed. Well, turns out his prayers might just be answered.
Definitely a 5.
This is new technology called eSight, and this is Blake wearing the electronic glasses. Sonia Roberts was skeptical at first, but called the company anyway. She found out Blake wasn't really a candidate. Desperate, though, to help her son, she drove him nearly 5 hours to Indianapolis. What she witnessed that day and is now captured on cell phone video was remarkable.
Okay. Is it on video? Yeah.
4.
I was so excited just to be able to see him read from across the room, to be able to tell an 8 from a 3. It was profound.
Blake was amazed too, and he saw something he's been waiting his whole life to see.
If I'm correct, her eyes look brown.
And it was a moment his mother will never forget.
She was very beautiful, very bright.
The glasses, developed by a Canadian company, use a high-speed camera to magnify and clarify. The enhanced images are then projected on tiny screens inside the glasses. The cost? Something most people can't afford. $15,000.
It's attainable. We're certain it's attainable.
Asking for help wasn't easy, but they started a GoFundMe page, and slowly it's growing.
There is a difference between a handout or a hand up, and this is going to be life-changing for him.
Good morning.
Roberts is hoping the kindness Blake has shown others might come full circle and help her son. He already sees the world around him in a much different light.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
Never better, ma'am. You?
Yeah, that's great.
One that a pair of glasses will only help him see better.
Would you like a cart?
No, thanks.
Okay.
He just makes you smile. Right now, about 600 people are using the eSight glasses. Blake hopes to be the next, and he hopes that you can help. Go to WKYT.com. There we have a link to Blake's GoFundMe page. You can also find out how to donate to an account set up at City National Bank, and also find out more about ways you can help. Just look for this story.
Nothing but goodness about that boy.
Absolutely.
A restaurant raising money for a Central Kentucky man injured in a shooting months ago. How you can help, coming up.
A Central Kentucky restaurant is giving back to a friend. Jake's Diner in Cynthiana is donating 10% of its sales today.
That money raised will go towards Skylar Ray's medical bills. Ray was shot in June in the parking lot of Saddle Ridge in Lexington. The owner of Jake's Diner said he wanted to help out after seeing a GoFundMe page started by one of the regular customers for Ray.
I think it goes to show, living in a small town, the community will get behind you no matter what. In the time of need, Paris and Cynthiana both have always, been that way.
Another fundraiser on Saturday will center around skateboarding, Ray's favorite activity.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Thunderstorms out there today, as expected, more widespread than yesterday, packing a lot of lightning and heavy rain. And tomorrow's stuff is going to be very widespread, giving us the possibility of flash flooding. We're seeing the possibility out there right now. Flash flood watch is out for most of the region through Friday morning, and that includes central and eastern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky got a few counties here that are absent of that watch. You know what, folks, it's a watch. Let's blanket most areas. We're dealing with thunderstorms. Anybody can have flash flooding in a setup like this. We look at what is going on your Defender radar network, and across southeastern Kentucky, storms here into Knox and Whitley have been putting down a tremendous amount of rain. Flash flood warning until 8:45 for these counties. A little bit of good news compared to the past time we talked to you 15-20 minutes or so ago when we were talking about these storms. We're seeing the storms splitting just a little bit. So a little bit of movement here into Whitley County. Right on top of Barberville, though, we are just outside that warning. But this storm that has kind of split off from the additional storm into Whitley County is right on top of the city, and it's putting down a tremendous amount of rain from Girdler along Highway 11 and down toward 25E. Eastern parts of Manchester into Clay County getting in on some showers and storms. Storm here into Springfield and Lebanon, raining itself out. Additional showers and thunderstorms to the north of that from Shelbyville into parts of Harrison County toward the Maysville area. Heavy rains here. Thunderstorm putting down a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rain here just to the east of Moorhead. Folks around the Christie Creek area looking to your east, and the sky is really lighting up now. Sandy Hook, West Liberty, down toward Campton, Sayersville, a lot of thunder and lightning. Watch the creeks and streams even on those smaller storms that are trying to pop into southern Magoffin, northern parts of Knott. Flash flood warning until 7:45 for a part of Floyd and Pike counties. Look at the trend for the entire state. These showers and thunderstorms kind of popping with no rhyme nor reason. You're getting them all over the place. Heading into the day tomorrow, it's much more widespread. That'll keep temperatures below 80 degrees for a lot of us. Tropical moisture stalled out front. Here comes an area of low pressure heading toward the Bluegrass State. What does that spell? It spells the potential for some flash flooding as we go through Friday. And I've highlighted the areas in red, and that's most of our region, for the greatest threat, at least in the lower 48 over the next few days, for flash flooding. That is right on top of us. Hour-by-hour forecast, still some storms out there this evening. Look what happens into the day tomorrow. We get a complex of storms to fire up into Tennessee, the Nashville, Bowling Green area, and then working its way right on top of central and eastern Kentucky. Now, where does that exactly go? Models are going to be kind of hot spotting some areas, but a general thunderstorm complex should race across the area, if not seeing a few more that follow that up. And then as we go into Friday, scattered thunderstorms can still put down some very heavy rains. We go into Sunday, scattered thunderstorms can still put down some very heavy rains. That same model run, by the way, has that swath of 2, 3, and maybe even a 4-inch amount over the next couple of days, setting right up across the heart of central and eastern Kentucky. So there's your forecast, and it's a stormy one over the next few with those thunderstorms that can put down a lot of rain, guys, over the next few days. We'll keep an eye on it for you.
All right, Chris, we appreciate it. Thank you.
UK Fan Day set for August 6th.
Mark your calendar. We'll tell you what you need to know as the Cats get ready to greet their fans. And the Henry Clay Blue Devils will have a familiar name at quarterback in the upcoming season. 27 teams in 27 days is next. Kendra Harrison is back in Kentucky after coming home with a world record in the 100-meter hurdles. The former UK hurdler set the record of 12:20 in London just 5 days ago. Her record time came after failing to make the U.S. Olympic team, a disappointing 6th-place finish on July 8th.
One thing I learned from trials is, don't worry about what's going on around you. I think I got caught up in, the media and, coming in with the #1 time, American record, all that was on my chest. So I told myself just get top 3 instead of just going out there and doing what I've been doing all year. So, that's definitely something that I'm going to take away.
UK's annual Fan Day is set for Saturday, August 6th at Nutter Fieldhouse. Doors will open at 9 in the morning for an autograph session with the team that will end at 10:15. There is a limit of 1 autograph per person. UK is asking fans not to pose for pictures with coaches and players. Fans can watch practice at the new practice facility. That's from 11 to 12:30. Fans are asked to park in the blue lot adjacent to Commonwealth Stadium. We continue our countdown tonight. 38 days to UK football. 38, the number worn by the Terminator, John Connor, and by Anwar Stewart. And back in 1976, facing Tennessee in Knoxville on its own 38, quarterback Derek Ramsey hit Greg Woods' 62-yard score, gave the Cats a 7-0 win over the Vols. You can see our entire list of days at WKYT.com. The Henry Clay Blue Devils front and center tonight in our 27 teams in 27 days. Lee K. Howard has a look.
Henry Clay's season ended in the second round of the playoffs when the Blue Devils lost by a single touchdown to eventual 6A runner-up Lafayette.
But you know something, in that game when we played them in the playoffs, we were right there. We were right there. And so, But, you got to win them.
Losing that game, driving down the field, and, we're so close because we fumbled. It's all right. We just got to bounce back from that and do better this year.
This season, Henry Clay will be led at quarterback by Greg Couch, the nephew of former Kentucky great Tim Couch.
He's our Johnny Manziel, but a much better character, I'll tell you that. The kid is a leader. Another thing is I think he's passionate about his teammates. He cares about their success.
Elijah Miller makes the switch from defense to offense to take over the bulk of the running duties.
I'm not too big on publicity and being the star or anything like that. I really just like football and I like running the ball.
Coach Simpson says the defense is a little ahead of the offense at this point, but there is always plenty of talent and speed at Henry Clay.
I think we got a lot of speed and power, even at the offensive line level. Most of our linemen are fast, and our skill players are also equally as fast, so it's going to be dangerous this year, so have fun.
For 27 teams in 27 days, I'm Lee K. Howard.
And just over 3 weeks now from the start of another high school season. We'll be right back.
A lot of rain coming our way.
Yeah, thunderstorms right now kind of scattered across the entire area. Where you see those pockets of lightning, that's where you're getting in on a ton of rain right now into parts of West Liberty and especially now Barberville down towards sections of Whitley County. Watch the creeks and streams.
All right, we'll see you tonight after the Democratic National Convention at some point tonight.
Thanks for watching.